other martial builds are really popping off, and they're starting to like stack feats and cool build directions, and paladins are doing a lot more damage with bigger smites, and the rangers are got their animal companions hunting things, and you're still just like, why am I not just a full casting spells?
Well, you are, but you have other options.
Yeah, your options are worse at attacking than everyone else's, generally speaking,
Yeah.
which is fine for the record. Full casters don't need to be better at attacking than everyone else. Looking at you, Bladesinger.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are talking about another bard subclass, the Swords Bard.
I feel like this is directly inspired by like those. I don't even know what culture they're from, but they're the women that have the swords and the long hair bandanas in the desert. I don't know.
I was thinking more like a swashbuckler that you want to play.
That's actually a good point. That is what this does in many, many ways. I think you also could say this is what is the least amount of effort to make a martial bard. I think this hits the mark there pretty well.
Okay.
Two of the features are 10 words or less. So yeah, I think this one I like College of Swords. It's always been a little bit of a black sheep to me in that like it's not as good as Bladesinger, and it's definitely still a full caster that also gets extra attack. So you're like, it's gonna do kind of step on some people's toes, but I think it's got enough of its own identity, and it's not particularly powerful at attacking. It all comes together to be like this pretty moderately fine. You'll have a good time playing this option. You're a squishy little martial bard. It's fun. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
All
Diving
right.
in, we have bonus proficiencies. So when you join the College of Swords at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with medium armor and the scimitar. If you're proficient with simple or martial weapon, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your bard spells. Cool. So now you don't have to hold anything in your hands except your weapons and cast spells with them. As if you're gonna need an open hand if you want to use somatic and your sword still, though, for the record. Unless you take Warcaster, and you probably want to take Warcaster on this build. Additionally, you get 2 more features at 3rd level because you gotta overload these things early. Fighting style is what you get at 3rd level, so another option you get. You don't have a particular fighting style as your specialty. Choose one of the following options. You can't take a fighting style option more than once, even if you later get to choose again. You can take dueling, or you can take 2-weapon fighting. And dueling is while you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and another weapon, you get +2 damage rolls with that weapon. And 2-weapon fighting is if you fight in 2-weapon fighting, you can add your ability mod to this bonus action offhand attack, which is neat.
All right. Now you're already spoiled level 6. We're gonna get extra attack. How does that work alongside 2-weapon fighting?
It doesn't.
Ah, that's not good.
You attack twice with your action, then you make a one-hand bonus action offhand attack. It doesn't change at all. Dueling scales with it slightly because it gets +2 damage twice, whereas 2-weapon fighting just goes, I don't do anything different with my attack action, and then I still get the same number of bonus action offhand attacks that have the same damage to everything. Nothing changes.
Okay.
I think a lot of times people are taking 2-weapon fighting with this, and that's fine. In the early game, it'll feel really great, especially because like you're suddenly able to make 2 attacks, and that looks a little bit different than what most martial characters are doing, and your second attack is doing a decent amount of damage. And this option tends to like struggle to fit all of the ability scores the way it wants. You'll have usually the characters are incredibly dexterous, incredibly charismatic, and that's it. But in those worlds, you'll be doing a decent amount of damage and have some decent saves, and it's fine. It's great. It's whatever.
All right.
One more feature though.
Whoa. I'm still trying to wrap my hand around. All right. 3rd level, when you get this, you are attacking with 2 weapons. Attack, right?
Yes. Mechanically, what that looks like is you take the attack action as an action on your turn. And then your bonus action on your turn is attacking with that offhanded weapon. That offhand weapon now gets to add your dexterity modifier to its damage if you're using 2-weapon fighting.
Right. But when you get extra attack,
you, on your turn, mechanically, you attack once with your right hand, and then you offhand attacks once with your left hand. That's the whole, nothing changed with the offhand attack. It's still bonus action for the 1 attack, and it's still 1 action for 2 attacks.
Okay. That sucks.
You wish you could do attack? Me too.
Well, yeah, or at least attack, offhand attack.
You can still, so it's attack, offhand attack. It's exactly the same thing.
All right,
I don't understand what this confusion is.
All right, go back to 3rd level. We had attack, offhand attack.
Yes.
That's 2 attacks.
Correct.
Now,
go to extra
attack.
Attack.
2
offhand
attacks.
attack.
Yes.
3 attacks. Yes.
Yes.
Done it. Yeah.
3 is more than 2.
Yes.
That
I don't understand where your confusion was. I must have explained something so it sounded like you only got 2 attacks. No, you get the regular extra attack rule, so you attack twice, and you make the same number of offhand attacks with your bonus action. 1 bonus action
right.
offhand attack.
But you are getting, I mean, extra attack is giving you something.
Yeah, but it doesn't
All right.
scale with 2-weapon fighting in any way, shape, or form. It just doesn't interact with 2-weapon fighting at all, right? The fighting style isn't not remotely empowered by you having extra attack. Extra attack doesn't give you more damage like it would with dueling. It wouldn't give you any sort of extra benefits. It's just your offhand attack is doing exactly the same thing, and your 2 attacks are you making more than 1 attack. It's not scaling or anything like that. Was what I was trying to say.
Right. But, I mean, but you are going from 2 attacks to 3 attacks. So you threw me off when you said there's no difference.
There is no the 2-weapon fighting style is not improved by you having more attacks, is what I meant to say.
Okay. I'm better now.
Great. We have a way more complicated feature at 3rd level to talk about still, which is Blade Flourish. Blade Flourish is another thing you get at 3rd level. It's very complicated. At 3rd level, you learn to conduct impressive displays of martial prowess and speed. Whenever you take the attack action on your turn, your walking speed increases by 10 until the end of the turn, and if a weapon attack that you make as part of this action hits a creature, you can use one of the following Blade Flourish options of your choice. You can use only 1 Blade Flourish per turn. The 3 options are Defensive Flourish. You can expend a Bardic Inspiration die to cause the weapon to do extra damage to the target equal to the Bardic Inspiration die rolled. You also add a number rolled to your AC until the start of your next turn. So if you roll a 3 on damage, you get plus 3 AC. If you roll a 6 on damage, you get plus 6 AC. Make sense?
I like that, yeah.
You get Slashing Flourish as your next option. You can spend a use of Bardic Inspiration, cause it to deal extra damage, equal that to deal extra damage to the target you hit and to any other creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you. The damage equals the number rolled to Bardic Inspiration dies. So now you do bonus damage to 1 creature, and then it slashes through and hits another.
Yes.
Way worse than an AC bump usually, because that's like plus 3 damage. But, you know, plus 3
Well,
AC.
yeah, and it's not going to come up as often either.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be nice to execute something with, like, you'll know something has 1 hit point, and you'll be like, oh, great, slashing through it, hit this one, kill that one.
Yeah.
The final one you get is Mobile Flourish. You can spend a Bardic Inspiration die to deal extra damage to the target you hit. Damage is the number rolled on the die. You can also push the target up to 5 feet away from you, plus a number of feet equal to the number rolled on the die, which is just annoying. Like, it's in between 5 and 10 feet, which is never where I want my numbers in D&D to be. You can then immediately use your reaction to move up to your walking speed to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the target. So you can move after it.
Okay.
Neat. All 3 of these, I think defensive is the one you're going to almost always use, and then you'll occasionally use mobile to push somebody into a spike growth.
Yeah. You know, I'm a big fan of force movement, but I think I'm usually using defensive.
Yeah. Most of these amount to you can spend Bardic Inspiration die on baby spines. I will say the difference between 2d8 and 1d6 or 1d8 or 1d12 is very large. You do not feel like a paladin when you use this. You feel like, I have a little baby damage, a little extra damage here. It's not.
Yeah, but no, I'm not using it for the extra damage. I mean, that's nice, but you know, that same number of an AC bump is pretty big.
That's true, especially whenever you get d12s and you roll a 10, you're like, oh my god, I can't get hit this round. Sweet. And I also took shield with my what's it called? My magical secret. So now I actually have functional AC of 35 this round. Cool. I will say, the moment you get this, you will never give Bardic Inspiration out to anyone ever again. It's not going to happen because you're going to use all your dice on this. So say sayonara, friends, to help all your Bardic Inspiration die are here for your AC bump. And that's 99% of the class. So the last 2 features are Extra Attack and Master's Flourish. Extra Attack says at 6th level, you attack twice instead of once, you take the attack action on your turn. We already covered that in depth in all our confusion earlier.
Yes,
so,
all my confusion.
Yeah, listen, how I worded things wasn't great. Let's be honest about that. Extra Attack's great. You're a full caster with Extra Attack. You're going to want to use bonus action spells. I think this option in particular, you do run into moments where you're like, wow, why am I taking the attack action at all when I have 5th level spell slots? Why am I taking the attack action at all when I have 6th level spell slots? Why am I taking the attack action at all when I have 9th level spell slots, right? Like, you don't have a lot of reason to keep cutting things up once you get past, like, 7th, 8th, 9th level, but you can still kind of do it. I think this option really shines brightly levels like 1 through 5, mainly 3 through 5. It's a very short window. But, you know, once you get into the mid or upper tiers, I do think you're gonna start realizing Other martial builds are really popping off, and they're starting to like stack feats and cool build directions, and paladins are doing a lot more damage with bigger smites, and the rangers are got their animal companions hunting things, and you're still just like, why am I not just a full casting spells?
Well, you are, but you have other options.
Yeah, your options are worse at attacking than everyone else's, generally speaking,
Yeah.
which is fine for the record. Full casters don't need to be better at attacking than everyone else. Look, looking at you, Bladesinger. The last feature we get is Master's Flourish. At 14th level, when you use a Blade Flourish, you can use a d6 instead of spending a Bardic Inspiration die, so you basically always have some reason to go in and try and get an AC bump. You're still probably going to prioritize your higher dice on higher AC bumps than giving out like helpful dice, especially because your bonus action's often making an offhand attack or misty stepping or doing some other kind of bonus action play pattern. But you might every once in a while still throw out a Bardic Inspiration die, make 2 attacks, give someone a bump, right? All that is fine-ish. Not a lot
Yeah.
of complex option. Relatively comprehensive, relatively short. I think College of Swords is one of the more unique directions for Bard to go in, just because it really is the martial Bard. Like, College of Valor tried to do this, and I don't think it succeeded. I think this pretty clearly succeeded because it just gave them extra attack. That's what you need if you want to do these kinds of options. If you want to encourage players to take the attack action past 5th level, they kind of have to have extra attack. And this gives you that, which is, very high floor. Oh, so does Valor. What am I talking about? Valor also gets extra attack. They succeeded in both fronts then. Great success. I just double checked because I was like, does that get extra? I don't think it does. It does. Great. So yeah. If you want to do 2 fighting stuff with Bard, this is fine. It's gonna feel pretty fun to play like levels 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're gonna start getting the upper tiers. If you do get to the upper tiers, you're gonna be like, I'm just gonna be a full caster now, actually, because I'd rather just spend my spell slots. But
Depends on how you want to play, and what you build toward. Maybe what feats you take. I can see there being reasons to continue attacking if maybe you got a concentration thing up, and you just want to hack on somebody that's in your while your summoned beast also hacks at it.
So, like, I do want to point out there are some core problems with that general play pattern. The first issue is we talked about a lot of the 2-weapon fighting stuff recently. We talked about the feat that gives you +1 AC. We talked to you about the fighting style. We ranked it pretty mid. Like, it's not amazing, but it does let this archetype kind of exist in the low tiers. It doesn't scale at all. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
And the dueling option requires you find better weapons and better weapon proficiencies, like pole arms, and go in on like sentinel builds and stuff instead. It doesn't let you really go into 2-weapon or to great weapon master stuff. It doesn't really let you go into sharpshooter stuff. It doesn't go into any of the like kind of more powerful known quantities. You have to work extra hard to build a polearm master here. You're really encouraged to get Warcaster. All the feats start to get tighter. And the core fantasy that I think people are playing this for is the 2-weapon at its heart, right? I do think the swashbuckler, suave pirate look or, cool exotic dancer with weapons kind of deal, all of that definitely plays more to the worst fighting option that doesn't scale at all. That doesn't have staying power in the upper tiers. That doesn't really have build direction in the upper tiers, which is going to lead you to just falling back on being a polecaster, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Probably. But I don't know. Still looks like a lot of fun to play.
Definitely.
I'd probably give it a whirl.
I think this is a solid B option. It's an extra tracking bar that succeeds largely up into the mid tiers. I think you should probably have a good time with this. I don't think you're like revolutionizing this game or anything. If you're playing at a game that's like remotely power gaming, I do think you have to work a little bit extra hard to make this option look good. You can. I'm not going to say you can't, because defensive flourish as a thing you always have access to is a good AC bump. You can do some obnoxious AC stacking stuff in this. It could be a reason to like dip 3 in Bard is just for access to this like charisma mod uses of a giant AC bump. It's just this isn't as straightforwardly powerful of an option, and that's why it's not going to get an A from me.
Yeah, I wonder if that is part of the proposed massive AC character build.
It's
This is
random D6s, D8s, and D12s.
Yeah, this is something unique to throw on top of the pile.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't cost you any kind of action economy is a real big boon to it.
Yeah. So, all right.
Those builds are pretty tight as is, but maybe it fits on there.
All right. Well, that was the Swords Bard, College of Swords. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. And let us know your thoughts on this class down in the comments below. Other than that, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.